Hey Muses, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tyler, also known as T-Mann Tarot, across all of the YouTube platforms, social media platforms, your friendly tarot deck connoisseur, content creator. I almost said tarot deck creator, so let that be manifested into reality. But today we are going to be talking about a different not tarot, not oracle. We are going to be talking about a Lenormand or Lettermand. Either pronunciation is totally cool. But we are going to be talking about a Lenormand deck, a deck that I picked up while I was on vacation in Mexico City. And it's so funny because it's called the New York Lenormand, and I found it, of all places, in Mexico City. Now, friends, before we dive too deep into today's video, please make sure that you subscribe, comment, like, turn on that notification bell, and do all of the YouTube-y things so you do not miss another deck review. Now, friends, just a friendly reminder, if you would like early access to any of the videos that I create for review, all you have to do is subscribe to the Patreon, which will be linked below, and you can get early access to these reviews and help me kind of pick the order, pick the decks, and maybe get some extra bonus content over on my Patreon channel. So without further ado, let's switch angles and dive into the New York Lenormand, shall we? All right, friends, so we are now set up, but quickly, just some fun facts. I'm going to be reading off of my handy-dandy computer here real quick, but this is a traditional NY Lenormand. A limited number are in stock. I am reading directly from Robert M. Place's website, who is the creator of this New York Lenormand. The New York Lenormand is a recreation of the historical Lenormand oracle in two versions. The traditional with the playing card correlations and one with the equivalent tarot cards. But only the one with tarot correlations are in stock. So it seems like the only version in stock is, thankfully, currently the deck that I am going to be reviewing. About the deck, the inspiration for this deck came when Robert bought the original Mystic Cards of Fortune, a Lenormand oracle deck that was published by McClellan in New York in 1882. These cards are based on one of the oldest German Lenormand decks, the Hoffmann and I can't even begin to pronounce that other German last name, Corpusstead cards, published in Berlin in 1854. Each card was redrawn, but followed the original closely with some changes. For example, the ship card depicts an American flag flying instead of a German flag. This copy has line drawings without color, which would have been hand-painted, and a box at the top mentioned depict the playing cards was left blank. Robert decided to reproduce this deck in color and add the cards to the top. The coloring is transparent. The coloring is transparent as the original watercolor would have been. Made two versions of the deck with the 19th century style playing cards and ones with the Rider-Waite-Smith copy. The Smith cards are the black line drawings with the royal ships. These were first published in the portrayal of the keys. The Smith cards offer figured images designing the divination and provide one interpretation of the cards included in the image. Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. The cards are printed on off-white paper with squared edges and a blank back, as was the original. The measures are 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches and comes with a linen drawstring pouch. So that is just a little bit of information regarding the deck itself. Now, let me just adjust here and bring y'all in just a little bit closer. So when I purchased it, it came with this lovely drawstring pouch that I will keep it in. While I was searching, again, I was looking for things I hadn't seen. This is actually my Lenormand that I have created. Because while I was looking for divination cards in general, I have gotten my own Lenormands and Lenormand decks, but the deck that I originally purchased for myself, I did not necessarily resonate with. So I decided to make my own. So this is my version of the Lenormand, with my own cards from a sticker books. But then I saw this Lenormand, and in New York, or not in New York, in Mexico City. What am I talking about? And I just fell in love with the substitution of the playing cards here for the tarot cards. Let me quickly see. So this is, again, jumping into multiple different topics. This is the Gilded Revere Lenormand Expanded Edition. This was the first one that I just didn't necessarily get into, but we see a number, an image, and then the playing card associated with it, right? This is a typical format and layout for a Lenormand. You have the numbering in which it is, right? Think tarot 1 through, or 0 through 22, or ace through king, right? But the playing card association here is what the divination for a playing card is. Now, I enjoyed seeing the substitution for it being a tarot-based substitution, because that's how I would read it. These cardstocks, it is pretty thick for shuffling. Love that it's blank back cards. I wish that this had name. Do these? Oh no, they don't always have names on it. I like my cards to have names on it, unless I actually know what they are right away. But this is very simple Lenormand imagery. It does not come with a guidebook for the cards. So this is something that you're going to have to kind of have done your own research with. But the images, right? This one kind of confused me, right? This is mountain. 21 is mountain. But this is path or crossroads. And it took me a second to kind of be like, thank goodness that it had this little pillar with like the hands going in 2 different directions. I was like, oh, okay. That's going to be an easy understanding. Garden with the 8 of Swords, tower, dog, stork, star, bear, fox, child, bird. Oh my goodness. I forget what card number 11 is. Can I find mine quickly? Well, actually, there is a faster way to do this. This is the Lenormand book that I got when I was first starting out to read and then learn Lenormand. So it's The Art of Lenormand Reading by Alexandra Mersk. What is number 11? Okay. So it's supposed to be whip. But I think some variations of the Lenormand put it as broom. So it's interesting, that kind of perspective. See, in this, you can see here in the video that it usually has the playing card associated with it. Because here's scythe, bouquet, coffin, snake, clouds, tree, house, boat, or ship, clover, and the rider. It's a cute little deck. I really thought that it was so different. It gives you space if you wanted to write keywords on it. But it's more of a divination practice that is super straightforward and super kind of to the point. People have seen they use this like, okay, where's my keys, right? It talks about that kind of in the book that I have, where it talks about like where you can find things, where you can kind of, oh, the letter, it's straightforward, physical pieces of information coming. It does have this connotation, right, with the Seven of Swords being like, it might not be the best information that we want to be getting, but it's we're getting information, right? It is less of a really in-depth, right, where tarot is this super esoteric and has all of these meanings. The Lenormand is very kind of straightforward. Let's just talk about, let's talk about card 21, the Mountain. So card 21, right, is the Mountain. And the Mountain is also associated with the Eight of Clubs or the Eight of Wands. The keywords are obstacle and uphill climb. The Mountain warns of obstacles or an enemy that may be blocking your progression. You will need to make great efforts to overcome the mountain's energy. Now, the book also breaks down and talks about who the message, like this message is simply stand your ground and persevere. If you're talking about a body association, right, what might be going on in your body, it's associated with the head. There's timing, right? 21 days or the 21st of the month. Influence, right? It's negative. It's a negative connotation. It's a negative association. The obstacle is in your way. The nuance is that it's a portrait. Interesting. I've read this book, but it's also, I took the bare basics of it. There's an archangel association, a planetary association, which is Mars. The Mountain is associated with the astrological sign Aries. If you are doing a love reading, right, lover's reading, it's advising to stay single. A past relationship issue is keeping you from moving forward. If you're doing lover's reading, right, or maybe reverse, you are experiencing some sort of block or a standstill. Health issue is saying that if we're doing health related reading, it's talking about needing rest, right? We've got an uphill battle. We need to rest here. Money readings, nothing on the horizon for now. A work reading, hard work, a complicated task. And the special power associated with the Mountain has the power to make things heavy and difficult to move, right? And these associations that they've given with the Mountain, right? Making mountains out of molehills, right? We have to move the mountain. All of these kind of cliche or trope topics that we talk about with a mountain association, right? You can even say like, Miley Cyrus, it's the climb, right? These things are very intuitive based, but also straight to the point here with what these cards mean. Right? So the whip, right, is this, or the broom, right, a tool to sweep the energy out, changing of the energy. The scythe, right, we're shaking them out for all they're worth, where we are hurting or we are trying to be destructive. The tool here is clearing out. Think almost kind of, right, the scythe and the death card, but it's not necessarily a death card because it's associated with the Page of Pentacles, right? Let's go to number 9, just for some fun here. Nope, 10, right? The scythe announces danger unless positive cards are nearby to soften it. You can have more details in the surrounding cards. But the message is clear away the clutter, right? Clearing it away. The scythe cuts everything that it comes before it, discarding away the positive effects of the good cards. Difficult times, sudden and unexpected quick. It's associated with a young man, sometimes aggressive, right? So we see these things here in this. The bouquet is considered a gift of getting things, of receiving things, a positive choice here. Coffin, endings, change. Snake is somebody who... Now, this kind of has this notion that the snake plays with the snake in the grass kind of energy, right? That negative connotation that the serpent has received throughout, you know, biblical, non-biblical, right? The snake is never always looked at in a positive light. So this is that snake in the grass, a villain. Somebody is not necessarily being exactly who they said they were. Right? The snake card is indicating danger. It indicates people or situations that are potentially harmful. Be careful who you trust. The clouds we can't see, things are murky, things aren't, we are trapped in a fog here. The tree is health, it's longevity, it's planting of the seeds. We are established, we have great success, things are going the way we hoped. The house is literally the home where things are. Things are starting to grow, the nurture, where we are living, our safe spaces, these kind of straightforward understandings. The ship is associated with journey and travel and movement. Clover is luck, is positive change, is stumbling upon good fortune, having things come your way. The rider is like, oh, somebody's going to come over unexpected. Somebody is going to come visit you, or you're going to bump into somebody who you haven't seen before, right? It's less about the horse moving, but it's this unexpected coming in here. The bird is associated with like chatter and gossip and chit chat, right? The child is understanding small children. It's the energies here. Let's go. Here the child is a sign of new beginnings, fresh start. People around you are loving and good natured. The child is indicates something that is starting small, right? So small, child, growth. Not necessarily newborn baby, right? That's associated with the stork. Fox, right? Somebody sneaky. The fox is trying to out-quick or out-navigate or out-mind you. Somebody is really trying to kind of get under your skin here. The bear, protection. It's also considered the mother bear, right? So it's this motherly protection. It's this instinct to protect, to cultivate, to make things... strength is another key word here. The closer the bear, the stronger the querent, right? The querent, or the person answering the questions. Take back your power, a protective mother, right? The star, again, the star is that association that like the things are out there in the universe. Nurture what you can nurture, but let the universe take a hold of it. The stork is that, you know, babies are coming. We're associated with kind of pregnancy and birth. Movement and change. The stork indicates some kind of change is coming, like a pregnancy or a relocation. This is a good omen if the stork is near an upgrade. Positive change or a job position is expected, right? New things are coming, right? New opportunities here. Dog is loyalty, and I like that it's the 10 of cups, right? That happiness, that trust. The tower, right? Not necessarily the tarot tower. This tower is foundations of learning, places you go, things that you are looking for to get broader education. What are you building, right? It's the opposite of the tower. Instead of destroying it, we're building it up. We're going to these unknown places to get these learnings. The garden, think of it as like garden parties, right? You want to be seen. Where are you going to be noticed? Where are you going to be in the public eye for things? As we talked about, crossroads, trying to figure out where we're going. The mountain, things are in the way. Mice, things are eaten away. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of like misguided information, right? The mice, which is kind of fun. I always look at them thinking about like Cinderella's Disney's mice, but it's really not that sense. It's stress, it's loss, it's payment. The mice predict stressful situations. Something may be taken away from you. Ask the surrounding cards what might be the further the mice are, right? So think of it as like they're eating away, right? They're nibbling away at the walls of the things that we're doing. It's not a good thing. The heart is love. It's lovers. It's romance. It's what does the heart's desire. The ring is really engagement, proposals, commitment. Book is learning, information, trying to get the wisdom that you're looking for. Letter is written information or unexpected news. These things are going to be coming to you like an email or a text message, something like that. Man, woman, straightforward, right? The lily is wisdom, is growth, is information. It's branching out your surroundings. The sun, which I believe has correlations to the sun card. Let your light shine, physical appearance. The sun has the power to expose things in the light, good or bad. So yeah, really kind of is that tarot association. However, it's correlation playing card wise because there's no major arcana associations. It is minor arcana, so it's the Ace of Pentacles, growth, opportunity. You need sun to grow these things. The moon is associated with the Eight of Hearts or the Eight of Cups, but it is this notion that we're moving on. The moon has the power to heighten your intuition, big dreams, things at night, right? 33 is the key, which is go for it, chakras. You have the things to unlock, doing the work. You have the tools to your successes. The fish, money, business exchanges, transition, school of fish energy, going with the mentality, let it flow, entrepreneur, right? Kind of just going with the direction and of things. Anchor, grounding yourself, placing yourself in where you know, stay true, stay fast, hold strong. And the cross, which you would think might it's more associated with the cross you carry, the burdens you carry, the things that are weighing you down. This is the card association for the anchor or for the cross. Ask for help, lower back pain, right? So it's Lenormand I do love for the fact that it is pretty straightforward and on the nose with what you can kind of see in the cards is what you get. There's not much of an in-depth like you would in a tarot card, just for card size, right? This is the Lenormand size. It is smaller. Now they do vary, right, in playing card size for Lenormands here, but the smaller the Lenormand cards, the better, because there are typically, you do spreads in 3, 9, or 36 card spreads, right? It's bigger, and things are associated and planted out. You kind of do, it's called the Grand Tableau spread. You kind of do all 36 cards, and you talk and go from there. If you ever get a reading with me, that's usually an hour long, at the crystal shop, I tend to do a 9-card spread based off of a Lenormand spread with the tarot cards. That kind of takes up the full hour. I know I covered a bunch of different things, but links below to primarily the New York Lenormand and the book that I use as my kind of go-to Lenormand study guide is going to be featured below. This inspiration of this style of Lenormand, I took and matched it with my personal Lenormand that I used and created here. So yeah, a closer inspection of the New York Lenormand is coming up right now, friends. Bye-bye.